Hi, welcome back to Turning the Mirror podcast. This is where we bring you the reflection of politics and governance across our country, Kenya. And today we are heading to Homa Bay County. We find Gladys Wanga. She just posted a press statement yesterday on 18th of June 2025, and just suddenly we've seen it deleted online. Let us first go through that letter so that we bring you the discussion. Thank you.
All right, so this is actually the statement dated 18th June 2025. The title, Statement by Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga on Extrajudicial Killing. The statement reads, "Today we stand united in grief and outrage as our nation confronts a wave of police brutality, impunity, and extrajudicial killing. The tragic killing of our son, Albert Ojwang, in police custody has shaken our collective national conscience. Yet, as we mourn Albert, another family in Mbita is shattered by the death of Calvin Omondi Onditi, a 36-year-old fisherman who allegedly hanged himself with his trousers at Kipasi Police Post, Mbita. The post-mortem at the Homa Bay County Referral Hospital will reveal the truth. Yesterday in Nairobi, Philip Okech was shot during protest against these very killings. We watched a video of an unarmed young man selling masks shot at point blank range by a masked police officer. This chilling act captured on video and has caused the brazen police brutality. Today, Gabriel Mwita Chacha, 34 years old, has been brought to the county referral hospital with the life-threatening injuries arising from police beating in Ringiti Island. Enough is enough. The perpetrators of this extrajudicial killing must face the full force of the law. The Kenya Police Service must carry their own cross. We condemn these atrocities and demand accountability. The immediate prosecution of all officers involved, including DIG Lagat, and those bearing command responsibility." The statement ends by saying, "Commitment to the 10-point agenda. The ODM-UDA agreement explicitly prohibits extrajudicial killing. We are holding the Broadbased government to this commitment. Our support for the Broadbased government does not extend to extrajudicial killing and police brutality. We draw the line on extrajudicial executions. Illegal and unconstitutional repression is not part of the agreement." Signed by the governor herself. And this statement was released by the office of the governor, that is County of Homa Bay.
Sure.
Yes.
You know, Kwach, this one is meaning a lot.
Yeah.
In fact, the letter itself, before, let us leave alone it being deleted by Wanga herself.
Yes.
Then we realized she was speaking fiercely and very directly straight to the point.
Yes.
And even in the last paragraph, when he is now referring to the broad-based agreement. So does it mean Wanga was parting his way out of the government, or there is something else? You know, she's also the chairperson, the national chairperson of ODM party.
You know, Gladys Wanga has been speaking strongly for the government since the broad-based government was formed, or since the broad-based formation. And remember that even before Professor Kindiki became the DP, when talks were in town that the then Deputy President Gachagua was going to be impeached, Gladys Wanga was seen as one of the options Ruto had as the Deputy President when it came to women. That was Gladys Wanga and the current governor of Kirinyaga, Anne Waiguru. They were seen as possible contenders for this position. So even after Kindiki was then appointed, so both of the women were left. We still saw Wanga strongly support this government, and we've even had talks in town that maybe William Ruto and Raila Odinga are seeing a possibility of having her as the running mate for William Ruto in the coming 2027 elections.
Yeah, that's true.
And therefore, she has been moving around supporting this government heavily and strongly. When Ruto moves around Nyanza, in any county, Wanga is always there. And among the counties that have really benefited from Ruto's government is Homa Bay. And but then the death of Albert came just a few weeks
Even
after.
before Albert, remember Ongondowere.
Ongondowere, yes.
Yeah,
It starts with Ongondowere.
Yeah.
And the death of Ongondowere happens. they speak strongly, and they even say, actually most of ODM legislators, not just Wanga, said that what they signed as a party did not include execution of its members. And after that, at least there was silence, because we then saw police move with high speed, trying to ensure that things were in order. Then came the national holiday, Madaraka celebrations. People even went out there, others slept, spent the night inside the stadium.
Ruto was so welcomed.
And Ruto was so welcomed in Homa Bay. We even saw the ex, formerly Twitter. The Luo community were kind of laughed at by other communities, because they were wondering, what are these people doing at this point in time when this man is not even loved in his own county. So then after that, just weeks after that, when we now knew, then it seems Homa Bay with Ruto, they're now buddies. Then Albert dies. So when Albert died, it took some time before the legislators from Nyanza region, majority of them, even the vocal ones, majority of them, just a few spoke, but majority did not speak.
That's true.
Then Wanga herself now spoke later, offering to even build a house, a 2-bedroom house, and was there representing, I think, the president and Raila Odinga. Because from when the parent was speaking, you could automatically tell that Wanga was there authoritatively and trying to ensure that Raila's name and the president's name were heard from the speech of the father, that is Senior Ojwang. And after that, we saw then the mainstream try to cover this. And many people were on Gladys Wanga's neck.
That's true.
Because they automatically saw as if Wanga was being used by the forces that many perceive to have been behind the death of Ojwang. So it happens that she decided to play low and did not even comment about that. But then come to 16th of this very month, then we have her husband fired. The George Wanga. Remember in January, when Ruto was awarding the loyals, those who were loyal to Raila Odinga, with the positions, George Wanga, who is the husband to the current governor, Gladys Wanga, the husband was awarded by the chairmanship of the EPRA board as a non-executive council or something like that. And therefore, on 16th, this man, 17th of January, George Wanga is awarded as among the team or experts given to the government, experts in quote given to the government by Raila Odinga. But then this was a direct reward to Gladys Wanga. I want to believe that this was to, in some level, just make her still support the government, even after losing that position of the deputy president, which many perceived to maybe perceived her to be one of the main major contenders. So after this reward, the contract was supposed to go for a 3-year term. So it means George Wanga has only served for 4 months. So after 4 months, he is fired. He is sacked, and he is sacked just days before we had the protests.
That's true. And the gazetting of his firing, was it really given for some reason? Was a reason given?
We can actually read it, because I have it here. It is dated June 16th. It says that in exercise of the powers conferred by Section 12(1)(a) of the Energy Act 2019, as read together with Section 51(1) of the Interpretation and General Provisions Act, I, William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, appoint Adan Haji Ali to be the non-executive chairperson of the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, that is EPRA, for a period of 3 years, with effect from the 16th June 2025. That means it was effective immediately.
The replacement.
The appointment of George Wanga is revoked, dated the 16th June 2025.
As from that gazetting, we clearly see that there was no specific reason given for that resignation of Wanga.
I won't really call it resignation, because this is an appointment revoked.
True.
So it means it has happened against his own will. And now that no reasons were given,
It means there
are chances that there are clashes between either the Wanga family and the president, or maybe some clashes have started mounting between ODM and UDA, and therefore the president is trying to sacrifice George Wanga, who is maybe a small fish in this union, just to send a warning. Yes, to send a warning, so that those who think they might still walk heads high while still within that very same broad-based government would see or read something. Then again, I see a possibility that what Wanga wrote, what we just read to our audience and deleted later, there are chances that she wrote this because initially the tone she was using since joining the broad-based government as the chairperson of ODM and as an individual governor of Homa Bay, she has never been this harsh. And so the tone she used yesterday when writing this letter, the press statement, was a bit harsh and therefore shows somebody who is kind of either in denial of what has happened or who has some strong feelings against the president, what he did and his government. So chances are that for this message to be deleted, because remember the last statement carries the weight. The last statement, this statement that says, commitment to the 10-point agenda, the ODM-UDA agreement explicitly prohibits extrajudicial killing. We are holding the broad-based government to this commitment. Our support for the broad-based government does not extend to extrajudicial killing and police brutality. We draw the line on extrajudicial executions. Illegal and unconstitutional repression is not part of the agreement. Remember, we, the term we, not I. So it means...
So there is something the party ODM is also setting up.
So when she was speaking of this, it is either it was an agreement of the party, and therefore she was speaking in the position as the chairperson of the party, or she was speaking her own mind, but the term we maybe rubbed some shoulders within the ODM party, particularly with Raila Odinga, who is the party leader, and now the sworn brother to President William Ruto. So chances are that if this was not an ODM statement, then the powers within ODM forced Wanga through the party leader to delete it. And if it was a statement by the ODM leader that Gladys Wanga was speaking, then through the president, either communicating with Raila Odinga or the top brats within the party, which cannot happen anyway without the knowledge of Raila Odinga, Gladys Wanga was forced by either Raila Odinga himself or a call from the president to delete this.
You know, there is also a big question that somebody could be asking themselves, that for us to get to this letter, so it means there is a lot of things that has been happening somewhere between. You know, William Ruto is currently unpopular in Kenya, and there has been a lot of calls to the ODM party and the members of ODM maybe to say their stand. Are they still standing with William Ruto, or they're going a different direction? And again, the fact that after Ojwang died and Gladys she was not as quick as she was quick when Weredi died. So there had been calls, a lot of calls, people speaking,
a lot of questions
from every corner, that why you not taking actions as you did before. So it might be one of the reasons why she's deciding, let me part my way, or it's just a click on what ODM is planning to do in the coming days.
That is very possible. That is very possible. And if it is a decision by Gladys Wanga to delete this because either the president called him or talked to him through Raila Odinga, then we might soon see George Wanga again given an appointment or given a role to perform in a different sector, a different office. Because then these things are done in most cases using promises. You cannot just make me delete a message just by commanding me to do so. And automatically, in these political scenes, most of these things are done through promises. So you use a promise as a bribe.
You know, even from Ruto's side, it meant a lot of things for her to write that letter to Gazette Gladys George Wanga to get out of that position. It also means a lot, you know, for him to take such an action. Then Wanga was also a little bit tensed and said what could be happening. And then could also be one of the reasons why she just went quick and said, let me write this letter and post it. Then all of a sudden we've seen it being dropped out. So we are expecting a lot. And also to our audience, you should be sharing with us what you think about all these political political scenes that are rolling across the country, ensure you subscribe to DMP Kenya and always be welcome.